head down to Caboolture via the Beerburrum Road. That's the drive we're about to do. I don't know if I filmed the whole thing, but we're doing a bit of a ride along for the moment and a bit of a chat. So can I ask you, Dad, and we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but you did the paperwork or the contract for the internet underwater cables, was it in the 1980s, to bring the internet to Australia when you were working for CSIRO as a contracts guy. Is that accurate?
What you do with a major contract like that, you have to get all your documentation ready, and then you have to make a submission to the minister.
Yeah, right.
Who at the time was Barry Jones.
Yeah.
And Barry Jones, as a lot of people know, was an absolute genius. And you don't put nonsense up to Barry Jones because he could almost read your thoughts before you start.
Really?
Oh, he was superb. But the case that I put up, of course, I only did the draft, but I'm a pretty good writer, so people only changed one word here or there. And I'm told that Barry Jones signed that at first sight. He didn't even completely read it. He read it halfway through, this is what they say, halfway through, and then he signed it. And they say it was the fastest ministerial Barry Jones ever signed.
Wow.
What it involved for me had to do with, it came from Minneapolis in the USA.
Home of the singer Prince. Anyway, go on.
and it came from, the cables went from there to the sea, and then it went undersea and came out at Bondi in Sydney, and from there it went on to landlines, which were at the time administered by...
Stay in this lane, sorry.
They were administered by Telecom, now
Yep.
Telstra. So there was another contract that had to be done. And from there it went to, from Bondi, it came by cables to Sydney University, where CSIRO had a base. And we had two front-end computers up there. They were called PDP 1170s. One was called the Gateway, which sort of was the machine coming in, and the other one distributed it all around Australia, again by telecom cables. Just landlines. But most people do not understand about telecom cables. Usually when, like, sound trouble, they use sound waves, which are just a wave to transfer the documentation, but you have to have a modem at each end, and that modem is what's known as a frequency modulator demodulator, and it would come, say in this case, from America. They would convert it. They'd use a modem over there, convert it to sound waves. The sound waves would come all through the sea and all the way to Sydney University. Then you have a modem, which the people know the sound waves go like that. They're wavy, and then it had to go back to binary, to computer language, which is actually like blocks. So instead of having a wave, you have a zigzag pattern like that. And
Are you going somewhere with this? Because this isn't anywhere near as exciting as I thought it would be.
oh well, they were very, very big contracts.
So I guess the computer people would understand what you're talking about, and they'd be excited by what you're talking about.
Well,
because I'm not really that computery. I love YouTube and watching funny videos and that, but that's about me with computers.
well, the importance of it was our first, well, an example of the importance is our first customer was Defence.
Yeah, right.
The very first, and the biggest, of course, Department of Defence.
That's interesting.
So they were able to instantly log into the finest technology on Earth through the CSIRO network. The CSIRO network in Canberra was powered by a control data CD CD76 and FACOM, FACOM, a big, massive production FACOM. So it's pretty wondrous stuff. Anyway, the only other important thing I've done in life was teach a 14-year-old how to read when I was 7. So they're the two important things I've done in my life.
So no you, no internet.